Hello guys, I'm Annie Otaku and welcome to One Piece chapter 1126 review. I haven't done one of these in a while, but now I'm back. And we start off with that classic end of arc party, the giants, the straw hats, everyone there just having a jolly good feast. Firstly, we get the answer to a much smaller egghead mystery, and that's why did Dory and Brocky stop that duel? They seem very stubborn, and they obviously didn't seem like the type of people to do that unless one of them won. Well, it turns out just a while after Water 7, Oimo and Koshi actually went to get them and convinced them to come back to Elbaf because that weapons broke. Which, is very interesting. I would have thought we would have seen them since Water 7, like even if it was just a small scene of them reacting to a wanted poster or something. But I guess it never stated exactly where they were, so I'm sure it's fine. But yeah, everyone's just partying, drinking, having a good time. We see Zoro drinking this drink called the Green Fairy, which is like an alcohol that makes you hallucinate, which, it's just a nice little touch. We all know Oda's great at world building. Then we get Bonnie sitting on Kuma's lap talking to him, and as cute and happy as this scene is, it does also make me kind of worried because Kuma's expression has changed a lot from like emotionless to smiling, and this does make me worried. Is Kuma gonna be alive? Because if he is, I will be so annoyed. I might even drop One Piece. Okay, I'm obviously not gonna do that. I love One Piece, but still, that will get me so annoyed. It's bad enough that all the satellites survive. If Kuma survives as well, I swear to God. But for now, let's just chalk it up to a very wholesome scene. Then we cut to an island called Gartel Island, and this turns out to be the place where Barto burnt Shanks' flag. I'm not sure if we ever got a name for it. It's been a while since I read that cover series, but yeah. And this scene is so ominous. Like, you got Barto, like, lying down, basically, begging for his life as he's all bloodied. And you got Shanks just explaining, like, hey, we need to make you an example because too many people rely on this flag. And we don't want those people thinking, like, that we've gone soft or whatever. But then one of Shanks' crew members, not gonna lie, I don't remember Shanks' crew's names. I know it was revealed in an SBS, but they just haven't been important enough yet for me to remember. I'm sure I will when they come into play more. But yeah, one of Shanks' crew members basically gives Barto this, like, poison, and he's like, hey, you better give this to Luffy. And when this happened, I generally ran downstairs to, like, the other person in my house that reads One Piece, and I was like, oh my god, Shanks is evil. I was so shocked. Like, he wants Barto to poison Luffy, sorry. But then we get such an awesome fucking Barto scene. Barto just grabs the poison with like his sharp, jagged teeth. I don't know why I described the teeth like that. But yeah, and then he just downs it, and I was like, oh my god. I mean, I already kind of guessed he wasn't gonna die, but like, still, this is why I love Barto, man. He's probably one of the best characters introduced in Dressrosa. This was such a hype moment. And then, the poison does nothing, because of course Shanks is not evil. I don't believe that theory. I do believe he'll be a threat because he is going for the One Piece, but I don't think he'll be necessarily evil or do bad things, anything like that. So yeah, nothing happens. Barto begins sailing away, and it's this kind of wholesome scene where Shanks is like, I'm glad to see you're devoted to Luffy. So yeah, it was basically just a test to see, like, is Barto devoted to Luffy, and that's very interesting. Shanks is still looking out for Luffy, which is nice. I thought they would become straight up rivals. Again, not enemies, just rivals. And then we get the kid level disrespect. In fact, I'd argue this is worse than kid level disrespect, because at least Kid got like half a chapter to get defeated. Barto got like one panel. Yasop just snipes the ship, and it literally explodes, and the narrator just comes on and says, on that day, Barto's ship sunk. It is unknown if there's any survivors. Now, because of the satellite thing, I do believe that Barto's gonna survive, especially since we still got stuff to do with the Grand Fleet. But still, that is so, like, Shanks does not play around. Like, I can't believe this. That's pretty badass. And that's not even from Shanks, that's just from Yasop, like a subordinate who's probably fourth strongest, maybe, just at a guess. But then we cut to Hachinosu, where Blackbeard is telling off a Valor Pizarro for letting Kobe escape. We get this kind of comical scene of Sam One Wolf trying to kind of like fix the buildings, because obviously Garp destroyed them all with his galaxy impact, but then he's just knocking more down with his back, which is pretty funny. And then Kuzon walks in and tells Blackbeard that they have captured Garp. Now this does confirm that Garp is alive, but I kind of never thought he was dead. Well, I thought one of two things, that we were either gonna get a very long flashback to show Kuzon killing Garp, or he wasn't going to be dead and they're going to have an execution for him later, because with the way One Piece is, there's no way Oda would kill a character off screen. He barely even kills them on screen. And also, there's a scene in here where Kuzon is like, I was trying to kill him but wasn't like strong enough to, basically. And I know he could still be acting because he can't show his true colours to the Blackbeard pirates, obviously, but something about this makes him seem generally evil. And then Blackbeard kind of like pulls over Puddin. I'm guessing she was just standing off to the side or something. But yeah, they have Puddin now, obviously, to read the poneglyphs. That was revealed when Blackbeard fought Law, I'm pretty sure. And then Blackbeard calls Lafleet, and this is kind of interesting because Lafleet is like outside the red line, I guess, and he's watching like the food being hauled up to the Celestial Dragons, and then it just kind of like explodes, and he's like reporting this to Teach. And I'm pretty sure Lafleet was the only Blackbeard pirate member that we hadn't seen thus far in Egghead, so I guess that's where he is. He's outside the red line, which is obviously interesting for a number of reasons, you know. One, where exactly is he? Because he looks like he's sitting on top of a building, but like there's no real islands around there, obviously, and at least that he would be able to see like all the way to the red line from. And also Blackbeard says to him, don't just wait around, like go do it, I think, or something like that. And it's like, what's Blackbeard doing at like the red line? I'm guessing it's not like an super important mission like fighting an admiral or something, because otherwise Blackbeard would have sent more people than just Lafitte, but I'm not really sure what that's about. That's interesting. And then Katarina Devon, Van Orga, and Caribou arrive on the ship, and they literally just get picked up by a Valo Pizarro's giant like island hand, which is pretty funny, and Caribou starts freaking out, and Caribou started calling Devon and Orga big bro and big sis, which is pretty funny. And you know, this is pretty bad. I mean, up till now it felt like someone could have come in and like stolen Caribou back or something, but now Caribou is at Hachinosu. Blackbeard is like a couple seconds away from learning the locations of, I think it's 2 of the ancient weapons, and we could generally have a situation where, like, you know, it's always darkest before dawn in storytelling. We could generally have a situation where we start the final saga with Blackbeard having 2 of the ancient weapons, and if that giant thing that destroyed the Lucy is an ancient weapon, that means the world government will have one, and the Straw Hats could start the final saga with none, which is obviously not the best. But then we cut back to the Giants and the Straw Hats for the kind of ominous end to the chapter. For one thing, they've been sailing for 2 days now and still haven't hit Elbaf, but everyone's freaking out because the Sunnies disappeared, and also a couple of the Straw Hats have disappeared, and yeah, obviously everyone's freaking out, like, what, where have they gone? And then we just get Nomi waking up, and she's like, I think I drank too much, and she's in kind of like this palace room almost. Now, there's obviously a lot of things to discuss with this. One, I'm pretty sure Nomi's changed clothes, which at first I thought was a bit weird, but then I remembered it's been a couple days, so that's probably just why she's changed. But the other thing is who's actually gone with Nomi, because one of the Straw Hats says we've got to find them, and also one other person says, where have you gone, Luffy? So we know that Luffy has also disappeared, but more could have gone, because the only ones we see here are the newest 4, so Robin, Brooke, Jinbei, and Frankie. So yeah, I don't know, maybe the rest of them have all gone, maybe a couple of them are still on the ship, I'm really not sure. As for where they've gone, it's kind of like this giant, almost, it looks kind of like a palace from the inside maybe, and it's kind of hard to tell if they're like with giants or not, because obviously if this was like a giant building they were in, all the objects would have been a lot bigger, but because of the way Oda's positioned it, which I definitely think he did that on purpose, you can't really tell because of like the framing and all that, but I actually think, I have a theory that this could be like Loki's castle, and it could have been Loki who kidnapped them. But that's about it for the chapter review. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye.